Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Roseanne. So, I went to the Paley Center event, which was so awesome just to see that whole entire cast and seeing their panel, because Roseanne's an awesome show, and a very important show, and I was so excited for this to return. And one of the things I said with Roseanne, it's one of those shows that actually I feel like needs to be on air as a relaunch, you know? You have shows like Fuller House, you have so many relaunches. Why Roseanne? And I think this is just perfect timing with its, you know, more political commentary and, more importantly, social commentary that is very relevant now. So, talking about the episode, I actually didn't get to see episode 1. I guess something big happens because they showed us episode 2 instead. So I'm going to talk about that. And episode 1 I will be discussing on Media Madness on Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Comic Frontline. I would have done a straight up review here, but it's on Tuesdays, and Tuesdays are kind of crazy for me. So once I get it up, it kind of would have been too late anyway, so I decided I'll keep my opinion for that one, and of course talk about episode 2, which we got to see. So what is this episode dealing with is actually more about Darlene's son. So Darlene's son dresses up in women's clothing, and Roseanne and Dan are kind of hesitant. They definitely are proud of their grandson and want their grandson to do exactly what he feels to do, but they're worried. They're grandparents who are worried that he's going to get picked on. And that's kind of what the story is about, and they just do it in such a real way. And that's what I loved about Roseanne, and that's what they continue to do, touching on subjects that are very relevant now and not making it feel preachy. It feels like, yes, these are topics we should talk about, not because like, oh, we're kind of forced to talk about these topics. It's needed within the story to talk about them. It's just such an organic story here, and that's kind of what I love about the show, and it really doesn't skip a beat with this storyline. Now the rest of the story, the other half has to do with Becky becoming this you know, this mother who's going to be holding another you know, a child for another person, who actually ends up being, she's a surrogate mom, and she ends up being the second Becky. And I love second Becky. I know it's the contest who's the best Becky, but I'm a big Sarah Chalk fan. I love Scrubs, so I gotta go with second Becky. But it's cool that they added second Becky in such an organic way, and that she's actually part of the story. Supposedly she's gonna be in 3 episodes, which is actually 3 out of 9, so that's not bad at all. So it was cool to see their interaction and where Becky's at and why she's doing this and why she needs money. And then the other Becky being rich and not stuck up, but you could tell that she's definitely tidy in a way. So it's just kind of cool to see their dynamic, and I want to hopefully see more of that as the show continues, but I'm so looking forward to that arc. Mark wasn't in this one as much. It definitely seems like he has an arc, but not in the second episode. Same goes for Darlene's older daughter. We don't really get a lot from, but it's mostly about Darlene story about her son. And like I said, I love the social topics they touch upon, and even the jokes. I will say, maybe the first 2 minutes I'm like, is this a little stiff? And then you get Laurie Metcalf coming in, and she's hysterical. She's a life coach, and she keeps mentioning it as like, hey, I'm a life coach. So the jokes just totally land, and it's a show that needs to be on air, honestly. It's touching upon topics that hasn't been touched upon in this type of way, and just to have a working class show on again like this in the political climate we're in, it's important. And again, the cast doesn't miss a beat, and the kids are really great. That was another worry, you know, kid actors, you go to like Fuller House in a way, it's just like so campy in some ways. There's always a bit they have to do, but here it just feels so natural, and they feel like kind of like the kids that were on, obviously, the Roseanne that we're seeing grown up now. It kind of feels like that organic type of, I guess, kid actors. They're just really good at their role, and they just feel part of the Connor family. So overall, I really enjoyed the return. I'm sure episode 1's even better, because I'm sure there's reveals there, but I really like this one, and it got me hooked and say, hey, I'm gonna watch this every week. And that's hard for a sitcom, especially in an age where we have streaming, and obviously binging's a big thing. This is a show, I think, that you could sit down with your family every week and spend time and and watch it, and I think that's important. We don't have a lot of those shows, especially for comedies, but ABC's been doing a great job with that. So I'm giving this one 4.5 stars. Again, Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Comic Frontline for Media Madness. I will talk about episode 1 when I get a chance to watch that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links to my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.